It's your seventh argument of the week. You're exhausted. You're disappointed. You've tried everything you can and you feel like she just won't change. She's not the girl that you first met. Something about her is off. She's not understanding your goals. You feel like no matter how hard you try, you're always falling short. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I'm trying my best, but I don't think this is gonna work out. Whoa. Before you go ahead and tell her that, here's what I want you to think about. Did this happen before? Didn't you meet a other girl the other time when things were really good in the beginning and then you got a little too used to each other and then she started rubbing off on your nerves and you broke up with her, and now it's happening again with Elizabeth, and who knows, maybe after Elizabeth you'll meet someone else and the same cycle is going to repeat. And I call this cycle the cycle of change. Okay, oftentimes we think that the other person is the problem. And I don't blame you. I've had a lot of those thoughts as well. And it's not an easy place to be in, I'm telling you. So the first thing I want you to understand is it's normal to think, this is so bad. We're having so many fights. Nobody else is having these fights. And this is actually pretty normal, okay? But let me share some information with you that truly changed my life. Understanding this cycle here is what changed my life, and it's gonna do the same for you. When you understand this chart, you'll know what part of the cycle you are, and that's gonna help you to really understand what you should do. Should you break up with her, or should you continue the relationship, make it deeper, make it stronger, and build those bonds even tighter, okay? So let's get going. The emotional cycle of change. When you first meet a girl, now this can also, the cool thing is, this can also apply to a job, guys, or anything new that you try, but in this context we're going to talk about a relationship. Okay, when you first meet a girl, you're in the uninformed optimism stage. It feels good. You got the butterflies in your stomach and you're like, wow, she is so beautiful, she's so perfect, and you get to hang out more. And as you start to hang out and kiss, whatever you're doing, you'll reach a stage where you get to kind of see her for who she really is, and you'll start to see that maybe some things are not really matching. You're going to have some informed pessimism. So you go for uninformed optimism, thinking she's perfect, she's the best for me, I'm so glad I found her. As you hang out, as time goes by, see, this is time here, you get informed pessimism. You might be thinking, oh, she's too picky with food. The first time I went on a date she was okay, but now she's really picky with seafood, and I love sushi. So now you start getting some informed pessimism. You're like, maybe this is not so great after all. And then some more time passes by, let's say 6 months, you have a huge argument, and then another huge argument, and then another huge argument. And now you're like, F this. This is not what I signed up for. And now you're in the valley of despair. Here's where most people get stuck, guys. Most people, they start at uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, and when they hit valley of despair, they quit. They're like, I'm going to leave her, and nah, she's not worth my time, right? And again, this can happen with girls too, guys. Okay, it's not just with guys, but I'm talking to you as bros today. So when you're in the valley of despair, you literally have two options. You either quit, and for the most part, guys, you guys might be in a cycle of quitting. Like, let's say the girl's name was Elizabeth. You quit Elizabeth. Elizabeth, bye. I can't handle you anymore. In the beginning, it was all good and nice, but you just don't like seafood and you're just arguing with me too much one day after the other, and I got work and I'm just fed up with this, so bye. And then you meet another girl called Mia, right? And then you're like, oh, Mia's really good, I love her. Oh, but she doesn't like beef, she's vegetarian. Oh no. And then you start having arguments and you get caught up in this cycle over here. But on the other hand, if you decide that, you know what, I'm gonna, for lack of a better word, man up, because these aren't actually real issues. Like, it's not like a physically abusive issue. And also because you understand that your long-term goals are more valuable. So you might be like, you know what? She doesn't like seafood, but I want kids, or I want to build a family, and I guess I can, compromise on the seafood. And it might hurt, but that's a real relationship, guys. A true love is knowing that someone is imperfect, but loving them anyway. Knowing their flaws and still choosing to love them. That's true love. That's like family, man. So anyway, the second option, instead of just cutting her off and then going into another relationship and having this valley of despair, this cycle continue, you can break that cycle. And what happens is when you break that cycle, you start to see some informed optimism this time. Instead of the informed pessimism, you're like, oh, this person is actually pretty good. She also likes this. She might not like seafood, but she likes to go bike riding with me. She actually makes for a great mother. She's really clean. So you start seeing her on a deeper level because you can look past her flaws that you saw in informed pessimism. So this valley of despair is a very critical point. Then you start seeing her for who she is, informed optimism. And then the next step after that is success and fulfillment. Again, guys, this is such a hack. Some of you might be still here in the uninformed optimism. You might be here. You might be here. But 99% of people, they get stuck here. All right, guys, this is such valuable information because you can apply this to a job. You start a new job. Oh, everything's going great. I'm so happy about this new YouTube channel I started. Ah, shoot. It's so hard to get views. I don't like it. Nobody's subscribing. Ah, valley of despair. Ah, I quit. Right? So you can use this in any scenario, but I want to let you know, before you give up on that girl, before you let her go, check in with yourself. What are your long-term goals? Because a lot of the times, guys, it's not about the girl. It's about you not willing to compromise, sacrifice in order to reach your bigger goals. Start a family. It takes gut, it takes sacrifice, it takes compromise. So if you really want that success and fulfillment, you got to check in with yourself. And maybe this is not the example for you. Maybe it is a physically abusive relationship and you have to cut them off. But a lot of the times, more often than not, even I take myself for example, right? It's about you understanding yourself and knowing which part of the cycle you are and where you want to be. Something to think about. Love you so much. Keep building those miracle relationships, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, shout out to Joseph is here. He's been commenting. Love you, man.